Hi, welcome to February's class, Cure the Winter Blues. Today we are going to put this beautiful arrangement together. Lots of blues and whites, a little bit of spring in here with some of the lilies, a nice little succulent. We'll get talking about all that. If you want a take-home box, those are going to be available February 23rd through March 2nd. All right, so in your box, you're going to get a beautiful cobalt blue vase. This is Soleil or lemon leaf. That'll be our base. You will be getting 2 pieces of Robellini. I think it's like a fern. I like Robellini though, that's the name of it. Those are gonna give us a nice tropical spring feel. 1 blue hydrangea. 3 white snapdragons. And a stem of beautiful lilies. Now lilies are gonna open, they're very fragile, but they're also gonna open at different stages. So depending on what stage yours is in, we might possibly give you 2 because they might be closed, or so it's just something that we'll keep talking about, and remember that they're very fragile. You're also gonna get a succulent. It's already gonna be wired for you like this to put in, but I just wanted to show you that it's from a little pot like this. We take the dirt off, we get it all set. So when your arrangement perishes, or before, you can take this out and you'll be able to just like cut that right off. And a succulent is so easy to grow. You'll just set it right on some dirt, water it, and it'll do its own thing. So it'll be a great keep for always. All right, so we're gonna start with our lemon leaf or Soleil, and all we're gonna do is you'll have to strip some of it off, because remember, we don't want any of the foliage to go into the water or below the line lip of the vase. So all we're doing is just laying it in here. Oops. And as we're going in, we're sort of crisscrossing. So as you can see, when I like to put it in, I'm sort of going like a third, like a peace sign, and then I'm sort of gonna go again on top, but more towards the middle. So what we're doing is just sort of rimming our vase a little bit with the foliage, because we have so much other things that are gonna be going on. So we don't really need a lot. I think this is only like my 6th insertion. Let's go for 7. But again, it'll depend on your greens, on how they are. So it's not very many in there. And see, I sort of have it flat a bit because it's gonna be a perfect place right here for our hydrangea. Now the hydrangea is the first flower that we're gonna place. See how it's tucked very close to the lip of the vase? That's what we're gonna do here too. Now hydrangeas can also be temperamental, and there's lots of old wives' tales. But realistically, as long as you cut it and get it right in water, you'll be fine. So we're gonna want, a nice length, because we want all the stems to get into the water as close to the bottom as we can. But we want it short enough because we are going to hug it right down there like that. Okay? So next, we're gonna do our Robellini. So this Robellini fern, it's very long and has a great curve to it. So we're just gonna take off some of these bottoms, because remember, we don't want this in the water. That's what causes bacteria. And these are gonna go a little bit on an angle. 1 right by the lip of the vase there. Now same with this, strip some of it off. And this one's gonna go up, and I'm actually going into the hydrangea a little bit because that's gonna help it to stay in place. So, see how we have them there? Next, we're gonna go on to our snapdragons. So a lot of this little stuff will be off. If not, again, remember, clean stem. The first one is gonna go pretty much in the middle and in front of this Robellini. So just like that. The second one I'm gonna place is going to be in between. Well, let me go backwards so you can see what I'm doing here. It's almost gonna go like in the middle of that Robellini and on an angle. So can you see how we're going not necessarily straight up and down, we're going at a really artistic angle. And my third one is gonna go in between the two on an angle, and if you can get that in that hydrangea like this, it sure does help it to stay in place. So that's our Snapdragons on a nice, cool, artistic angle. Next will be our lily. So again, now the lilies are so fragile. If you bump them at all, anything, you might get a line or a crease. It's just what they do. So it's okay. It might not be as pristine if you happen to bump it, but it's still beautiful. The other thing to remember is white flowers in general, especially lilies, any of the oils from your fingers or such that get on the petals helps them to turn brown faster, so it's not something we necessarily want. Now, creative cutting for our lilies. This has a nice long break right here, so I'm gonna cut that off because that's long enough to hit my water. And I'm gonna again go right in my hydrangea and a little bit off to the side. So see how these are going this way? This is gonna go a little bit more on that side. We're gonna tuck her down in there as good as we can get. There we go. So now you also have all these beautiful buds. So use them. Why not? I think I'm gonna put this one up here with our snaps and robellini, just to give it a little more oomph. Yeah, look at that. Nice. And I have this one. This is long enough too that as long as it's tucked down in there, it can go. So I'm gonna get it right along the edge of my lip of my vase and I'm pushing it in. This is possibly going to open. I mean, it's already cracking, so you guys will enjoy that for sure. Now our little succulent plant that I have all wired for you, that is gonna go between our lily and our snaps. Again, right through that hydrangea and tuck them down right in there. So there we go. That is your February class Beat the Winter Blues.